What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another Epic 7 video. Today we have the preview for Festive EDA, so let's watch it together. I haven't checked out anything yet, but as of recording this, I didn't see a second character, and in the silhouette there was two characters, right? So stay tuned for that. We'll keep our ears to the ground and see when that other character is revealed, because I don't know who it is yet. People said it's Eliza, but who knows? We did know it was EDA, so let's check this out.
Solitaria.
Sorry, a little loud maybe.
You said it wouldn't be revealing.
Let's see. Oh my goodness. Alright, Smilegate, I see you.
I didn't think it would be like this. It's so
Guys,
cool.
she might be must pull.
Prompted by Arunka's curiosity, Ada and her friends embark on a trip to a water park.
Okay.
While preparing for a first trip to the water park with friends, Ada is troubled about which swimsuit to wear. Although she wanted to wear a dark and modest swimsuit,
My goodness.
Solitaria forces her to wear a flashy and revealing bikini.
Good job,
Ada
Solitaria.
protests that she absolutely cannot wear a swimsuit like this, but Solitaria insists that if she wore a garment to cover it up, it would look just like regular clothes, managing to persuade her. However, Ada seems to be unaware that the outer garment Solitaria handed her is made of a material that becomes
Wow,
see-through
and that
when it's
lobby
wet.
animation? Okay.
Festive Ada is a
Alright, guys, there's been a trend in other games, not just Epic 7, but in a lot of other gacha games that aren't like the main three, right? The MiHoYo ones and stuff like that. And that, you know, they're leaning a little bit more towards fan service. I think Epic 7 always does a good job of balancing like fan service and just regular, you know, not going too crazy. But for summer events, you know, last year we had Lethe, this year Festive EDA. I'm a fan. Let me know what you guys think, but I don't even care about her kit. I'm probably going to pull at least one copy, but let's go and see if we're going to pull a lot more. It does seem like she might be, she's maintaining her mage status, but she is fire, and she is pretty fast, so she may not be my kind of unit. I'm going to expect she's either like a cleave damage dealer or maybe like a support utility control debuffing. That's these fast mages are always like something like that, but let's go ahead and check it out. We'll take it over from here. And let's see what we got going on. So, skill 3 for Festive EDA. Let me give it a try. Collects bubbles to attack all enemies. So AoE with a 60% chance to silence and a 75% chance for unbuffable. Okay, so we have two big debuffs here that are actually at different percentages. So we have 25% extra from skill enhancements. So 100% chance for unbuffable and 85% chance to silence. And then they're also, one is 2 turns and one is 1 turn. So keep that in mind, right? The skill is unaffected by cooldown increase and decrease effects. Interesting. All right. So both cooldown increase and decrease. We'll see if that is relevant. But I do want to watch the animation again. We'll keep it muted though real quick. Hold on. Let's see. And I also like to see the damage on these showcases too. So she has attack up here. She also had a buff I didn't really recognize. Okay. Did you guys notice that? I saw a non-crit there, and she also didn't break barrier. She did not do very much damage, so maybe a control style unit. So passive, skill 2 is a passive. It's okay, it won't show. I'm guessing that's Solitaria's reference to her outfit, her swimsuit. At the start of the battle and at the end of the turn, grants stealth for 1 turn. Okay, we have units like that already. Built-in guiding light. At the start of the turn, when the caster is not stealthed, dispels all debuffs and grants shyness. So at the start of the turn, when the caster is not stealthed. Okay, so she always starts her turn. She will get stealth at the end of the turn, but at the start of the turn, she'll get shyness. Let me see here. Dispels all debuffs. Effects at the start of the turn can only be activated once every 5 turns. After attacking when granted shyness, activates expected outcome. Excuse me, guys. Expected outcome is attacks all enemies, dispelling 2 buffs and decreasing combat readiness by 50% before an 85% to decrease defense for 2 turns. There's so much to this kit already. But let's see. So shyness undissolvable. That's the line, the Solitaria line. So after skill enhancement, every 4 turns, she can do this every 4 turns. And she will attack all enemies. 2 buff strip and a big 50%. That's a huge amount of combat readiness pushback. And a decent chance to defense break. It is 85 though. So it is not a guaranteed defense break. But 2-turn defense break is very powerful. Okay. So let's see the animation. Let's see how this procs on her kit. I'm assuming just at the start, right? Let's see here. So yeah, so she did crit there, but only did 1,000 damage, right? And here we go with the extra effects here. That's where that animation is from. Looks really good. So So it's on her S2 passive, kind of like units like Arya. And then we have a defense break. And then did you see guys on the left side of the bar too? That combat readiness? I guess it would already happen, but yeah, there's a huge pushback on CR as well. So skill 1 is I'm Embarrassed. Attacks enemies with bubbles with a 60% chance to decrease hit chance for 1 turn. And we're going to increase that by 15%. So 75% chance to decrease hit. A 1 turn blind on your S1. And then we can soul burn that to get it to 2 turns and 100% chance, right? I'm assuming this is a single target because it doesn't say attack all enemies, but let's make sure real fast on the cutscene. Well, I mean, it was just live, but yeah, it looks like a single target. Okay, interesting. Let's see the artifact. Magic Bubble Maker. Another really important note, guys, is on these limited summer artifacts. Make sure, right? You should always, no matter what, just pick up 1 of each because, you know, you're gonna have to wait a while for it to come back, as it is a limited summer event. So we have increased effectiveness, right? We can use that on a lot of different units. After attacking on the caster's turn, when the target is inflicted with a debuff, increases combat readiness of the caster by 6%. Combat readiness increased effect applies before buffs that inflict debuffs. Okay, so very, very insane cycling with just a stat stick artifact. And since it seems like they're trying not to really do anything too crazy in terms of like damage, this seems like a fine artifact. But remember, guys, also mages just have so many different artifacts you can run. You can take Dog Ales for souls. If anything, I think we do have like some AoE effects, right? Similar to Solitaria. So things like potentially Abyssal Crown. Maybe we have things like, let's see, this should proc, right? The extra effect should proc things like Fairy Tale for a Nightmare as well. Get extra strip, extra damage. But since that is on such a long cooldown, I don't think we're going to run anything like that. Unlike Solitaria, I think something simpler like her own artifact would probably be best because she doesn't quite AoE as much, given that S2 passive thing is a 4-turn cooldown. I'm not really sure overall what to think about her, especially because the current meta is just so... It's really stacked in terms of what the units you want to pick, at least on your first draft, your first few picks. You got to be really strong here. So let's see if she can actually contend. Let's see what Smilegate is showcasing in this real fast. So we're fighting a Knockwool kind of comp here, right? And our Ida is actually slower than Holiday Fiend, slower than Knockwool. But we get a cleanse here. So we had a cleanser before our Ida. Then we follow up with her. And I'm assuming we just S3 off the bat. Okay. So this is where we saw not very much damage, but we get an unbuffable and a silence. Hits on 2 units. We are fighting a lie, though. Here's the follow-up. So this should be a big combat readiness pushback. 50% if it hits. Yeah, it hits everybody with more strips. And we did actually land that 85 D-break on everybody. Okay. So, the big thing is the amount of combat readiness, pretty debilitating debuffs, and then that 85% chance 2-turn defense break AoE, right? We really need to capitalize on that because the cooldown, even if we have a lot of combat readiness cycling on our Summer Eda, Festive Eda, it is a long cooldown, right? So we really want to make sure that that 2-turn defense break we capitalize on big time before units like Laya or anything else can kind of cleanse, outcycle the 2-turn defense break, etc. But yeah, seems like you can kind of do maybe a cleave comp. In this example, they're even showing you how to do it with like a, even if you're not taking first turn, right? You just bring someone that will kind of cleanse and push up Arita, and then you need to make sure you follow up big time. In this example, they have Summer Break Charlotte here to really capitalize. A little bit of Celine too, just to finish off tankier units. But yeah, those of you that want a first off, guys, I got a pull just for the looks, just for the lobby animation. I'm not really this kind of cleave style player. It's hard for me to capitalize on units that defense break because I typically like to play a little tankier, a little slower. But for those of you that think you can like speed tune your comp, have some ideas where you can have Ida really set up your team by both combat readiness pushing back the enemy, by hitting them with those really, really strong debuffs, not just defense break, right? She also had, what is it, the silence. I think she had like a blind, and what was the other one? She had quite a few. S1 is blind. Let me see here real fast, guys. S1 is blind. S3 is unbuffable and silence, which are very good. And then S2, right, the AoE defense break. Once every 4 turns, the shyness expected outcome. I'm just cycling through, seeing if I missed anything. Yeah, the soul burn effect is on S1. We saw that 2-turn. No, I think we got the gist of it, guys. So, yeah, a control kind of mage, a debuffing control kind of mage, decently fast. 120 speed is nothing to scoff at. But you do need to make sure, right, that the way we set this up, these kind of units, you need to really speed tune your units. Make sure your comp is set up to take advantage of Eda, because if your opponent gets a cleanse, guys, Eda after that 4-turn defense break, one, if the defense breaks don't all land, two, if you don't quite, utilize it enough, capitalize on it. She doesn't seem like she does too much outside of that, but given that she's a mage and that we can run different artifacts, I kind of like it. I'm not sure how strong she'll be, but time will tell. Other than that, guys, she looks amazing looks-wise. The artifact, luckily, doesn't seem like it's too much of like a whale artifact per se, especially for the average player. But I would still always pick up one of every arty, especially the summer ones, with powder if you have to, just because you never know if it's going to come back, and you might want this on certain units, right? All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm excited to pull her. I have a lot of Covenant bookmarks, but I don't know how much I'll actually play her myself. That'll be up to you guys, those of you that like to use characters like this. But look at the amount of those debuffs just from the Eda alone. And I like how they're actually bringing back the Summer Break Charlotte, because it is summertime. Other than that, I can't wait to see what the other unit is, guys. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Stop by my live streams. Come say hi. And I appreciate every single one of y'all. Peace out, guys.